Trade recap 19th of March. Today I'm up 0.5 hour. It was a mental exhausting day, pretty tough day to trade. It was mostly balancing around, but yeah, let's dive into it. What was my expectancy for this day today? Basically, we were just had this pretty crazy sell-off yesterday, and then we were trying to balance around in the ETH, which led to a finally they got lower and basically broke this balance here, got out of this balance lower, and were, as I was starting and was drawing out this, they were near this volume drop off, this low volume ledge, somewhere around 6,620 to 25. That was my expected area where I can see some buyers. If they lose it, the next area where to buy would be 6,600, or trying to hop into the short continuation. That was my expectancy for today. Yeah. Today I wanna start with the missed trades. The first missed trade, it was a perfect mean reversion trade from those buyers, but unluckily I didn't get a fill. I think the market ran by 1 point away from my entry. Sorry, and I am currently seeing I don't have a loss up here. I quickly have to change it. It's a $45 win. Shit, man. Yeah. Basically, what have we gotten here? There was like this constant selling structure. We came into this interesting area, which was this 625, as you guys can see on the right hand side as well. So that was the area I was wanting to go long from. And after we saw those buyers starting to come in, I'm not only trading based on the aggression I see, but I also want to see a continuation in my expected direction in order to hop into a long trade or short, either way. And yeah, then they were just too aggressive, running up there without me being in the trade. And yeah, no fill, unluckily. It would have been a great 3-hour win. Then the next one I missed was this trade here from the lows. It was this one. Because what have we gotten? We were once and again back into the 6,625 area. We dipped a little bit below, as you guys can see here. Had a pretty good buying from down there and stalled out into the 6,638, where there's like this volume drop off. And after we came back down once more with all those negative aggression starting to don't get anywhere and starting to get absorbed by passive buying, I wanted to go long. And basically what the problem with this trade was, I pulled out my limit order after I saw it was like this candle here, a quick reaction by the sellers, and I thought, damn man, that's like this crazy selling, maybe some news kind of thing, because Trump was having a conversation with the Japan Prime Minister today. And yeah, that was the second thing I missed. And then let's go to the other trades I've taken today. I've taken 4 trades today. I missed 2. Maybe it's a little bit over trading. I wouldn't consider it, because I finally came to the conclusion that the market will give me way more opportunity, or just taking the opportunity the market will give me. The first one was this trade. Why have I taken this trade? Because after we saw this crazy continuation, we had like this kind of balancing around in this area, even though sellers were showing up. Ultimately, buyers won this battle and got higher, but unluckily they got absorbed up there, and sellers started to take over once more, came into this area. And basically, after I saw those sellers starting to stall out, they were making like this crazy kind of, I sometimes like to call it this crazy kind of reversal structure, where they're making like more and more wider and wider ranges. until we finally saw this breakthrough from the buyer. After I saw this buyer starting to come in, I wanted to go long from those prior sellers getting absorbed to this area. It was, in my opinion, a good entry. It was at this certain part even 1 hour in profit, but yeah, they failed from here. I got stopped, and yeah, then the next thing which has shaped up, basically I was too early on this trade as well. Maybe it wasn't like a pitch perfect area to trade from, even though the structure was telling me and the footprint, but I could have definitely waited a little bit more about this trade and going long, because today we also had, like, which definitely has to be considered, a pretty crazy balancing here all the time. This is just a news kind of movement, so it's nothing to consider. And basically it was like this crazy balancing around that you guys can also see on the volume profile. And I definitely could have waited one more to getting back into this area where those big negative absorption was taking place. And yeah, I didn't. I thought they will stall out here. Why here? Because they held this area pretty good prior. And yeah, then from down there they had like more buyers starting to come in and ripped it up once more. And yeah, I wanted to go long in from this area once more, like the same kind of trading idea as I've taken early on. It was my first trade. Yeah, it was my first trade. As I've taken early on, the second trade was like this long here. Why? Same, be same like before, same idea like before, because we had like this aggression from the lows, failed once more, and I still wanted to see them stall out here after we saw those good buyers, sellers getting absorbed. I thought, yeah, maybe they wanna shoot it up here. I was in profit, I think 2 hour at a certain point, yeah, almost 2 hour, but yeah, they failed once more. And at least I put my stop loss to break even because structure was telling me so. In this example, I can show you how it looks. It was this one here. The structure was like really starting to really weaken, and the delta bars got like pretty green, which mostly tells me that there is a lot of aggressive buying which don't go anywhere, and they are just getting absorbed by passive selling. Yeah. The second trade I've taken, maybe it was another one being a little bit too early and not patiently waiting. We came back once more into this area and I wanted to go long from it once more. It wasn't a perfect stop, because a perfect stop would have definitely been below this low here, even though also the area was like not too great, because the positive delta was up here, and you mostly, if you want to trade those reversals, you have to wait for a negative delta. Maybe it was like a trade mismanagement, but yeah, from down there we had like another buying all the way up, and I missed this one. This was the second trade I missed today, which I was talking about prior. And then I finally, after we had like a new higher high, I was waiting for the order flow. And in my opinion, this was like by far a great example for me to finally prove that I'm getting better and better at reading the order flow. Because I was first waiting once more that they get into these lows. But there's something to consider, that mostly market won't give you what you expect or what you want to have. And after I saw those buyers starting to come in, I wouldn't have blindly entered based on them, but first I wanted to see what will happen after this initial aggression starts taking place. And we had like this good bidding higher, and I put my limit order down there, where I finally got filled and have ridden it to a great 15 point, I think it's 2.5R, not like 3R, because I increased my stop loss size from 5 points to 6 points, and then I would normally have to take like what are 72 ticks. I think those are like 18 points instead of 15 points. Maybe I could have taken it, but yeah, whatever, it is what it is. And I think I've missed another great trade today. It was this one. Why? Because we made like a new high from this area, so you could have expected them to stall out here, and with those crazy order flow in the slows and finally starting to see this aggression, you could have definitely traded similar to my prior move to maybe wait for those buyers starting to step in, getting more and more, putting a limit order where the aggression was. Stop would be secured under the low. If they would break this low, sellers will probably take over, and you definitely want to be out of the trade. But overall, maybe I missed one, and then this move, I think they were up until this area where those news came out about Trump and some other kind of stuff, and now they're just starting to balance once more. You can also see that when putting like a volume profile around here, and you will definitely also see that those moves are some pretty big aggression. So you can almost say that trading this lows here once more higher would also be like a good trading idea, but I won't trade the last hour of the day.